Ben seems to think Britain is beyond repair. Take it away.
OK, now, events of the last couple of weeks have really got me thinking about the kind of country I want to live in and where I want to raise my family. Never would I have thought that those I share this land with would support the kidnap, torture and murder of fellow human beings, let alone brazenly celebrate such depravity on the streets of this country. The nation I once proudly called home has gone downhill fast. From uncontrolled mass migration and the highest tax burden in decades to our imploding health service and low-grade education. And look, I'll be honest, I want to be wrong, but it feels like Britain is slowly losing its soul. So tonight, I challenge my fellow panellists to give me 3 good reasons why I shouldn't ditch the UK for, say, the likes of, I don't know, Dubai, where the sun always shines, tax doesn't exist, a zero-tolerance approach to crime means the streets are safe from scumbags, and authorities know what it means to have conservative values. So look, with a Labour government all but guaranteed next year, I fear Britain has become completely unsalvageable from its death spiral. And for the time being, at least, that remains true. So Emily Carver, 3 good reasons, please, why I should be staying in the UK and not running away to Dubai.
Well, you certainly shouldn't be going to Dubai. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Because what have you got in common with Dubai? You know, Britain
I love low tax, I love the sun. Fantastic
country. We've got a rich culture and history that you belong to. Why would you want to up sticks and go to Dubai?
That's precisely my point. I fear our culture, our national identity is being eroded away.
If you leave, if everyone just runs away because they don't like the direction it's going in, then you're just giving up on this beautiful, amazing country. You can't just do that. It's selfish, and we're going to shackle you here so you don't pack the bags and go off. I understand why there is this temptation, not least because of the tax regime and the very strict, no-nonsense approach to, let's say, crime. But no, it's vacuous compared to Britain.
Darren, do you think we're unsalvageable? We passed the point of no return, especially, by the way, as Labour are guaranteed to
Well, Ben, I've just discovered that you want to lock up the gays, so I'm not sure I should sit here for much longer.
I don't.
But the...
I don't.
Honest, Gov.
You were upset about the scenes that we've seen on the streets of Britain. I would agree. I would concur with those views. But what I would say to you very gently is that if you think the views are going to be different in Dubai, you're in for a rude awakening.
No, but the difference is, here, we tolerate diversity, we tolerate inclusion, we promote inclusion. Everyone's ideas are welcome. Yet, from my point of view, in the last couple of years, I feel like Britain, despite being one of the most diverse, open and welcoming countries in the world, to all races, all ethnicities and religions, we get trodden on and we get taken advantage of. If you go to Dubai, they have strict laws. I don't agree with the LGBT laws, by the way, let me just make that clear. But you go there and you know what the laws are and you respect them. You respect the traditions and laws of the country, which is what people don't do when they come here.
But look at the tradition, Ben, the tradition of this country, the history of this country, the generations that were selfless before ours, much before ours, who actually gave up their lives for that cenotaph that's been desecrated by the people that you
And what would they be saying now, looking back?
Well, they would be saying, I gave my life in some cases so that you idiots could run around on the streets doing what you're doing, calling for Hamas to be given sanctuary or something, or whatever it is that they're actually calling for. But I think actually you would do those people a disservice to turn around now and give up on Britain. I'm not willing to do that.
I'm actually maybe a little bit more with you, but not for the same reasons. But all the young people I speak to nowadays are kind of like, what is the point? Like, what is the point of going to uni, of getting a degree, of getting my way up in a career, when my money, like, half of it is going on my rent, the other on bills? There's, you know, I'm speaking to a lot of young people that are just kind of dismayed, more on the money side and just the prospects of owning a home.
We're in a tricky situation at the moment, but past generations have gone through many more obstacles and bigger obstacles,
absolutely,
I would say, and we had real poverty years ago, and people, of course there is poverty still in this country, but not on the scale it was decades ago, and in the last century. We didn't have war on our doorstep, and, you know, I think things will get better.
I'm optimistic. I hope things will get better, but try telling that to a 24-year-old that's like, I just don't really see what my future could even be. Just renting for the rest of my life, which costs...
Benjamin, are you going to book a ticket to Dubai in the coming years?
Well, Ben, I'll give you 3 reasons to leave rather than stay. Look, as a selfless man, I'll pay for the ticket for you to head to Dubai myself.
The kids?
Look, there's something quite ironic about this, that people like you on the militant right. You often go on about how we've had too many immigrants into this country, and have we not? You say we've supposedly imported cultures that are having consequences, like some of the stuff we've seen on the Israel-Gaza protests. So what? You want to go to Dubai, where that is the mainstream opinion, where they literally have Sharia law and no elections. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever.
The UAE came out and strongly condemned Hamas's attacks on Israel and supported Israel.
I bet they did. Well, they've got a little bit of money flowing in the other direction. I mean, you're very naive.
From an economic perspective, we've got uncontrolled migration. No young people, as Lewis said, aren't going to buy houses anymore. There's no chance of them getting on the housing ladder. Why wouldn't you look, maybe not just to Dubai, why wouldn't you look to Eastern Europe, Poland, anywhere, Bulgaria?
Well, Poland is set to be richer than Britain per head by 2030 because of the Brexit.
Well, there we go. That's my point. Not because of Brexit, by the way. Not because of Brexit.
Can I say very quickly, I went to Dubai earlier this year, and it wasn't really on my list, but I wanted to pop in to see some friends. And it was
the Sheikh.
I was really impressed by it because there was buildings going up everywhere. It felt like there was development, there was deals being done, there was business and economy moving. And I just thought, my God, I wish we could get that back in this country.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to put a positive spin on this, but I am, like you, a bit depressed about the state of the country at the moment. And I think how Jewish people are feeling has been, well, it's actually been keeping me up at night. What's been happening, people dismissing anti-Semitism, some people saying, oh, you know, it's not that big a deal almost, or it's nothing to worry about too much. And then walking past near where I live, one of those posters of a kidnapped Israeli hostage having been torn down just down the road from where I live, that made me feel as though if Jewish people don't feel like they belong, or they don't have sanctuary and community here, then, you know, what's it all been for?
The last couple of weeks has been a realisation of we're in a position and in a state of affairs where I didn't think we were. It's disappointing, it's soul-destroying, and, you know, not just for tax reasons, but if you want to...
on that note, well, that's all we've got
on
time for on that debate.